In June 2024, the EU imposed tariffs of 17.4%, 20% and 38.1% on China's BYD, Geely Auto and SAIC Group respectively, and a unified tariff of 21% on other manufacturers. This move was like a heavy stone, hitting the European market of Chinese automakers. Just when the storm had not yet subsided, Turkey suddenly announced a high tariff of 40% on all cars imported from China, and did not allow any vehicle to have a tariff lower than $7,000. This series of heavy blows seemed to foreshadow the difficult situation of China's auto manufacturing industry in the international market. Just when the industry was worried about the prospects of China's auto exports, the plot took a sharp turn in just 1 month. Turkey suddenly revoked its high tariffs and reached a strategic cooperation agreement with China worth $3 billion. Among them, BYD invested $1 billion to build a modern production base with an annual output of 150,000 vehicles in Turkey, and Alibaba Group invested $2 billion to build a world-class data and logistics hub here. So why did Turkey make such a dramatic reversal in a short period of time? How will China's automotive supply chain in Turkey crush EU sanctions? Since the birth of gasoline cars in 1885, this new means of transportation has quickly won people's favor and promoted the birth of many well-known brands, such as Ford, Mercedes-Benz and Audi. Among these brands, Japan rose rapidly in the late 20th century with its excellent fuel efficiency and reliability. At that time, Japan's annual automobile production had reached an astonishing 13.6 million vehicles, and its exports reached 6.6 million vehicles. In contrast, China's annual automobile production was only 510,000 vehicles, and its exports were 10,000 vehicles, accounting for less than 1% of the total production. In addition, the quality and technical level of Chinese cars have not yet reached international standards, so they are nicknamed industrial garbage in foreign markets. After entering the 21st century, global carbon dioxide emissions have increased significantly, from 22.1 billion tons in 1990 to more than 36 billion tons in 2023. As carbon dioxide emissions continue to increase, the impact of global warming has become more and more obvious. We can directly feel that the summer temperature is getting higher and higher, and extreme weather events occur frequently. This makes reducing carbon emissions an urgent task for the international community. Against this background, the Chinese government has not only introduced a series of support policies, but also increased its financial investment and technical support for local automakers to help them cross the technological threshold and fully enter the field of new energy vehicles. After decades of hard work, China's automobile production exceeded 30.16 million in 2023, of which the production of new energy vehicles reached an astonishing 9.59 million, accounting for nearly 1/3. Even more exciting is that China's total automobile exports reached 4.91 million in 2023, of which new energy vehicles accounted for 1.2 million, a year-on-year increase of 77.6%. Chinese cars, once regarded as industrial waste, are now popular all over the world, but China is not satisfied with the status quo, but continues to expand its international influence. For example, Great Wall Motors acquired Daimler's factory in Brazil in 2021 and plans to invest $1.68 billion in technology upgrades over the next 10 years. In December 2022, BYD announced a joint venture with Uzbekistan's Uzavtosanoat JSC to build an electric vehicle production plant in Jizak. In 2023, Chery Automobile announced that it would invest $400 million in Argentina to build an electric vehicle factory, which is expected to produce 100,000 vehicles per year by 2030 and create 6,000 jobs. In recent years, Chinese companies have expanded rapidly in the global market. But as Chinese companies prepare to enter the European market, the European Union took the lead in implementing a series of economic security and supply chain security strategies last year. In June this year, the EU imposed tariffs of 17.4%, 20% and 38.1% on China's BYD, Geely Auto and SAIC Group respectively, and imposed a 21% tariff on other manufacturers. Interestingly, Turkey also announced that it would impose a high tariff of 40% on all cars imported from China, and stipulated that the tariff for each car should not be less than $7,000. But in less than a month, Turkey changed its position and reached a cooperation with China. What is going on? In recent years, the Turkish government has actively promoted the attraction of foreign investment to enhance the country's industrial manufacturing level and technological strength. As a leader in the global new energy vehicle market, BYD planned to establish a production base in Turkey as early as May this year. It is expected to start construction at the end of 2024 and go into production at the end of 2026, with an annual output of 150,000 vehicles. However, the cooperation was not finalized immediately at that time, because many heavyweight players in the Chinese automotive industry, such as BYD, Chery, SAIC Group and Great Wall Motors, were competing for this cooperation opportunity. It was not until Turkey followed the EU in imposing sanctions on China that the Chinese government responded quickly. In order to avoid losing this long-selected strategic partner, China made a number of concessions. This included relaxing restrictions on technology transfer, providing more favorable loan terms, and promising to assist Turkey in building supporting infrastructure to ensure the smooth progress of the project. These measures not only demonstrated China's attention to the project, but also demonstrated its sincerity to its partners. After several rounds of in-depth contacts and negotiations, BYD finally signed an investment and factory construction agreement with the Turkish Ministry of Industry and Technology in July this year. At the signing ceremony, Turkish President Erdogan attended in person and emphasized the Turkish government's high attention and support for this investment project. Erdogan said, "This is not only an industrial project, but also a big step for Turkey to move towards future technology." So, what kind of benefits will this cooperation bring to Turkey? According to statistics, the annual demand of the Turkish automobile market is close to 1 million vehicles. BYD's new factory will effectively alleviate the contradiction between market supply and demand and provide Turkish consumers with more high-quality and cost-effective new energy vehicle options. This will not only help meet local market demand, but also promote Turkey to become an important base for new energy vehicle manufacturing. At the same time, Alibaba Group invested $2 billion in Turkey to build a world-class data and logistics hub. This project is expected to create more than 5,000 direct jobs for Turkey and significantly enhance Turkey's digital transformation process. But at this time, some experts believe that China's $3 billion investment in Turkey to establish an automotive industry supply chain plan will completely crush the EU sanctions. Why do you say that? Previously, Turkey and the EU signed a customs union agreement. According to the agreement, any electric vehicles and related parts produced in Turkey can enter the European market without paying tariffs. This provides Chinese automakers, including BYD, with a strategy to bypass high EU tariffs, investing in factories in Turkey. By producing in Turkey, Chinese automakers can not only avoid EU tariffs, but also enjoy tariff benefits for entering a wider market. For example, BYD's planned factory in Turkey will produce more than 200,000 new energy vehicles per year. These cars can not only meet the needs of the Turkish market, but can also be exported to other European countries and enjoy tariff benefits. This means that BYD will be able to enter the European market at a more competitive price, thereby increasing its market share. If Chinese automakers adopt a more proactive strategy in this regard, such as expanding their production bases in Turkey and even other European countries, the negative impact of the high EU tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles will be greatly reduced. This development may lead to an unexpected result. the EU itself may end up being the one that suffers, because while trying to protect its local market, it may lose its advantage in the global automotive industry competition.